You might have heard in the news, fracking protesters have been in Pickering today to challenge local MP Kevin Hollinrake, Thurston Moulton MP. The group say his public support of an environment manifesto contradicts his ongoing support for the fracking industry. Barry Parker has been hearing the views of protesters, one being Hazel Winters, who lives in Kirkby Misperton.
Already we've seen from the Environment Agency reports that there was an increase in nitrous oxide from the site, and there's a 30% increase in traffic, and that was before they actually fully fracked. So that's just one small piece of evidence so far.
Now, there's some controversy. You're particularly objecting to the fact that your local MP has signed up to the Conservative Environment Network manifesto from earlier this month, which you say contradicts his own opinions, which are pro-fracking. Why?
Yes, he actually signed a pledge to join that group, but he won't come out and say he wants fracking banned. And a lot of the things in the manifesto are things which have changed in the last few years. Some of the other MPs have changed their mind about it, but he won't change his. And as our MP, we feel he should be protecting us. Some of the things which they've said is that it offers little in the way of economic opportunity and much in the way of stranded assets. And that is we're actually seeing that at the moment with Third Energy, because they have two wells at Hampton, which they're hoping to get planning permission for another 17 years. But in the last time extension of 10 years, nothing has gone on there at all. We'd like to see wells like that closed and put back to what they were before. But there doesn't seem to be any commitment to that.
Now, I've not spoken to Mr Hollinrake yet, but I would guess he might say, well, this is just one issue. There are lots of other broader environmental issues mentioned in the document, and they are well worth supporting. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yes, the others are well worth supporting, but fracking is actually taking place now in his constituency, so that should be his prime reason for joining the group.
So fracking should be the prime reason he should join the group. This is what Kevin Hollinrake had to say to Barry when he asked him.
I'm a big fan of the Conservative Environment Network. There's many things we need to do, and that's at the forefront of making sure that the government delivers on its promises in terms of net zero by 2050, which we're the first country on the planet to make that commitment, which is great. We were asked to sign a pledge on the basis that we need to do the right things for the environment. We weren't asked to sign it to every single policy, and that was made very clear. And so I believe in the vast majority of policies in that manifesto, but I don't believe it's the right thing to ban fracking at this point in time.
I think the actual wording is unpopular and uneconomic. Would you campaign against that line being in there in future?
I didn't agree with some of the statements about fracking. I think they were talking about things like stranded assets, and what does that mean? I think it means we might get halfway down the road of doing some fracking and then stopping. But to me, that's a commercial decision for people who've got the licences to carry out the fracking. The gas companies I speak to believe we can extract gas by means of fracking. That's what fracking is. It's just a different means of extracting gas, and they can do it in an economic fashion, and we need gas. That's the point. We'll need gas for many decades. Our choice is, do we use our own natural resources and extract that gas and use it, or do we import it? And for lots of different reasons, I think it's a more sensible idea to extract it ourselves. In terms of the environmental point behind that, it is much better for the environment to produce the gas ourselves than import it. So, but I fully accept people have different perspectives. That's my perspective.